What's up, boys? It's Feeds again, back with another video. This time we're going to be talking about Rhazin Scarhide. Rhazin Scarhide is one of the new legendaries that you can get from the fusions. He's also one of the good legendaries to have in general, and arguably probably one of the best ones that Flame could have picked as far as what you get available by fusing and not having to pay a single penny or opening shards with RNGesus. Rhazin Scarhide can be built a million different ways, and I've been having a lot of fun with him. Obviously, I don't have him completely maxed out. I'm still waiting to get more skill books for him before I really zero in on him. His skill sets, though, and his abilities, even where they're currently at with his artifacts not being completely leveled up, has made him pretty viable, even for a brutal and Nightmare Clan boss. And it's just because his skill sets are really good. He works really well in tandem with counterattacks. He works really well in tandem with supports. Works really well in arenas too. Ultimately, I am going to run a full HP build with him in arena at some point just to try him out. I have seen a couple reasons that have done massive damage, and they're very difficult to fight against because of their A1. So we'll jump right into the skill set. Bone Sword attacks one enemy 3 times, has a 20% chance of removing one random buff from the target. When you fully max it out, you have another 25% chance increasing, so that's 45% chance of removing a buff. This is really good against Clan Boss. This is good against Magic Keep. This is good against anyone in Arena who buffs, which just, once you get to Gold 4, everyone has a buff, even if it's just a shield. There's a lot of different areas that makes them viable. And remember, when you run with a counterattack setup, you can get basically 6 hits in every rotation, which makes him really strong in a lot of different areas. If you run him with like a crit damage HP build, you put yourself in a lot of spots too, to where you can kind of make him very viable to a lot of different instances. Or if you run HP with Immortal, it puts you in a really good spot too. I run with a lifesteal set, so it's a little bit different. His Shear, which is probably one of the coolest abilities that he gets, is attacks one enemy, has 75% chance of placing a 60% decreased debuff, and 25% chance weaken debuff for 2 turns. Decreased defense and weaken is what it applies. And then, of course, once you have it fully leveled up, you have it down to 3 turns, and it's 100% chance to go on. So the reason why this is so good, having it maxed out, is every 3 turns you get a decreased debuff. So effectively, you go 1 turn without a decreased defense debuff, unless you have someone else that can put it up there. As well as this synergizes with other characters that benefit from putting 2 debuffs on. Dracomorph, Foley. Just to name a couple too of the legendaries that have it. There's some other epics that aren't coming to mind right now that work for it. And then, of course, you have his A3. Bog Down attacks all enemies, decreases turn meter by 100%. This can be turned to a 6-turn ability. This is really good because it's 100% turn meter reduction. This is good against Spider. This is good against Arena. This is exceptionally good in Arena because when you get this ability off, it can completely destroy a team, especially if you're running a AoE team. That's designed to kill quickly. This basically ensures that they get 2 turns without being able to do anything, which, as you can know, can be detrimental to survivability. And then, of course, this Aura increases ally resist in Arena by 90. This is actually really strong too. If you ever make him the party leader, you can run in with almost 300 resist if you have the right resist setup, which makes it almost impossible for any debuffs to be applied to you or your team when it comes to it. And overall, this is really strong. To be honest, I think this might be a little too strong, but resistance is very situational, and other auras that you have available would probably take precedence over this one. Like, for instance, Bad Elf's Crit Aura or Prince Nymar's Speed Aura if you're running with it. But again, just different options. If you're playing into a speed team and you don't have the speed, going with a high resist actually makes you in a little bit better position overall when it comes to it. As far as Masteries go, the only one that's really important for me is I'm going to be running Giant Slayer because he attacks 3 times. And of course, Giant Slayer will make him very viable for Clan Boss, as well as other high-end bosses, Spider, Dragon, so on and so forth. So a lot of potential and viability there. I think Rhazin Scarhide is probably one of my most favorite legendaries that I've played with. And a lot of different functionality that comes into it. So as you can see, I have a speed and lifesteal set on him. Obviously, this is not the most optimized set, and he's not. All of his artifacts aren't leveled up. What I would end up doing ultimately, since I couldn't get a super good speed build with him, I'd probably just end up going Immortal and just run counterattack with him to make him a little bit more viable within regards of using Giant Slayer. But overall, the reason why I run with the lifesteal at the moment is because I didn't have a viable support that could run with him. But he still makes it about 7 minutes in. Well, 8 minutes in on Brutal and 7 minutes in on Nightmare Clan Boss without any issue. And so I've used him as basically the decreased defense guy and, of course, sustainability when it comes to it. So once I get Giant Slayer unlocked on him and things like that, he'll be much more viable. As you can see, his stats aren't the greatest. His base speed's probably the only really big drawback to him. But he does have high defense, high attack which makes up for some of the other stuff. It makes him pretty viable if you make him offensive or defensive when it comes to it. So that'd be it, guys. If you guys have any questions specifically about Rhazin, I do have him on another account that's a little bit more leveled up. This one had the right gearing though for him, so I did want to show this one the most. But if you have any comments, questions, concerns about how to build them, or if you have different builds you've tried that have worked really well for them, please leave a comment below and let me know. I am always up for testing new things and trying new things, especially with heroes that I want to fit into my rotation more. So that'd be it, guys. If you guys liked it, go ahead and hit the like button, the follow button below. If you liked it enough to follow, go ahead and hit the subscribe button up top. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and hit the comments below. So again, guys, I appreciate it, and you stay summoning.
Run! It's gonna be a left click. It's gonna be a left click. Yeah!